First of all, I just want to say that Zambia and Zimbabwe have been honored with the privilege to co-host the 20th session of the UNWTO this year in August, between the 24th to the 29th. And we are citing the Victoria Falls as the destination. As you know, Zambia and Zimbabwe shares this natural resource, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. And so between Zambia and Zimbabwe, we shall be co-hosting the 20th session of the UNWTO, and we hope that Germany will participate and that you'll be coming over to Zambia and Zimbabwe. But one of the major objectives of co-hosting this is that as a member of the UNWTO, Zambia and Zimbabwe have been given an opportunity to use this as a means of advertising, showcasing our rich countries in terms of tourism, and we hope that we can effectively actually get people to come over to Zambia and Zimbabwe, and also to, beyond participating in the General Assembly, be able to get the world to know what Zambia has to offer in terms of tourism. As you know, Zambia is endowed with a lot of natural resources. Apart from being the home of the Victoria Falls, Zambia has many other waterfalls dotted throughout the country. We have 20 national parks. We have rich wilderness, the forests. We have warm people. It's a very peaceful nation, as you may know, and that Zambia has been peaceful since inception. And we have rich culture in Zambia, diverse traditional ceremonies. Our cultures are very unique and diverse, and yet we still remain a united country. And so the co-hosting of the UNWTO really gives us an opportunity to showcase what Zambia has, and we are very ready to host it, and we are hoping that many people will be coming, and we promise you a very memorable African and very unique General Assembly this time around. As you know, this is going to be the first time that this conference is going to be hosted in the SADC region, in the southern region. It is also good because it is not just a Zambian and Zimbabwean conference. I think this is an African conference, and it gives an opportunity for the whole Africa to be showcased through this unique general conference, where 2 countries who share many things or natural resources together are coming together and co-hosting this important event. Zambia at the moment, as you know, is heavily dependent on mining and agriculture, just to mention a few sectors. But the government of the Republic of Zambia has targeted tourism as an important sector for diversifying from the mining and agriculture. Because of the many natural resources that Zambia is endowed with, obviously tourism becomes a natural sector for diversification. As you know, that tourism worldwide is known to be an emerging sector for job creation and wealth creation for our nations. And so as a country, in terms of policy, we are diversifying our dependence from mining and agriculture to tourism. And because of that, the government of the Republic of Zambia has come up with policies that want to support tourism. To that effect, we are doing a lot of infrastructure developments, and most of these are targeted in areas where there's tourism. And the Livingstone, where the Victoria Falls is housed, which is the home of the Victoria Falls, has been declared as our tourist capital. And because of that, we are doing a lot of improvements to Livingstone to make it more accessible to our visitors. And because we are targeting tourism as a sector for job creation, we have a lot of opportunities that have arisen in that sector in terms of airways, air travel, just general transportation, infrastructure like hotels, lodges. As you know, Zambia has many beautiful sites that need expansion, needs development. As you know, that tourism is heavily dependent on other sectors, and obviously it means that those sectors have to be developed in order for tourism to flourish. And therefore, naturally, what that means is that you find that there are great opportunities in the tourism sector in that regard. We are looking at SMEs, small business opportunities in the tourism sector that can actually generate employment, especially for the urban poor, the women, the youths that are mostly vulnerable. We are looking at using tourism as an engine for employment generation for that category of our people. So apart from the attracting foreign investments, we are also trying to attract local investments, especially the local entrepreneurs, the women and the youths, who most of them are looking for the tourism sector as a means to generate self-employment. And because of that, this is why the government is putting in place policies and legislation that can support that sector. Zambia, like many African countries, have a firm belief that there can be no genuine development without the participation of women, without the participation of the youths, without the participation of the differently challenged persons. And so we have policies that have been put in place and programs that have been put in place by government to ensure that we have active participation of women. When it comes to elective positions, many Zambian women now are rising at different political levels, at the local level and national levels. And our president has taken affirmative action to deliberately appoint women in many different sectors of our country, so that women can fully participate. In terms of the ministries, we have the Minister of Tourism, this woman here talking. We have the permanent secretary in my ministry is a female. The directors in my ministry are all female. We are even looking for men now. So it just tells you to balance up. Yeah. So there is actually a deliberate policy in our country to involve women in all the sectors. Whilst there's been an improvement generally, we still are struggling as women to ensure that we sustain the women, especially when it comes to political positions in parliament, in the local authorities, and so on and so forth. But when it comes to the other sectors, I think we are in some cases even above the 30%, we're at 50% in some sectors. So yes, I think women are very important, and especially now as we celebrate the Women's Week, I think it's an appropriate question, and I think that the struggle for the emancipation of women must continue, because not just in Zambia, but I think all over the world, we still have a number of challenges towards women's participation.